leaked royal texts have detonated Buckingham's calm like a firecracker in a cathedral, and the fallout could crumble what little remains of the Windsor Brotherhood. You heard that right. Overnight, a mysterious Dropbox link began racing through group chats, packed with screenshots that appeared to show Prince Harry hurling brutal, swear-laced messages at Prince William. Messages so raw they feel torn from a soap opera script that never made it to air. The palace is scrambling, William's inner circle is fuming, and fans around the globe are choosing sides faster than you can refresh your feed. By the end of this video, you'll have every shocking receipt, plus a twist that could flip royal power dynamics on their jeweled head. First, the basics. According to the timestamps, the leaked exchange happened mid-July, just days after Harry flew back to California. That alone was eyebrow-raising, because sources claim the brothers promised to keep dialogue open following their frosty reunion at last spring's memorial service. Instead, Harry allegedly blasted William with a string of midnight DMS, accusing him of stonewalling family reform talks and calling him "brace yourself," the biggest royal phony since Uncle Andrew. Yeah, he went there. But who leaked the screenshots? Multiple blue-check gossip accounts credit an anonymous palace aide they call Sandringham Sparrow. This insider supposedly watched William's private security staff compile evidence after Harry's messages triggered an internal threat assessment. Why? Because Harry referenced confidential locations where William's kids spend weekends. Security red flag, anyone? The aide reportedly feared a cover-up, so they saved copies of the chat and waited for the right moment to expose the Sussexes' scorched earth tactics. Now, let's scroll through the receipts together. In one exchange, William tries to diffuse tension, typing, "Let's speak properly tomorrow, H." Harry fires back within seconds. No fake chats. "Admit you sabotaged my charities because they make you look lazy." That line alone has Twitter detectives digging through financial filings, hunting for proof that William ever blocked funds tied to Harry's Veterans Initiative. So far, zero evidence. But the allegation is now headline catnip and tabloids are running wild. We need to hit pause here and remember the brothers' shared history. Back in 1997, the world watched little William grip Harry's hand as they followed their mother's coffin through London. The bond seemed unbreakable, forged in tragedy. Fast forward to 2012, and the princes were still laughing side by side at the London Olympics, high-fiving athletes and waving Union Jacks. Then came Harry's Vegas escapade, naked pool photos, global humiliation. William kept silent, shielding his brother from harsher press. So, what flipped the script? Insiders point to 2018, the year Meghan joined the family. The Fab Four stage appearance gave false hope, but behind the scenes, Harry clashed with staff over security and social media strategy. One aide claims Harry texted William a 2 a.m. rant about Instagram algorithms, accusing him of stealing spotlight with too many charity selfies. It sounds petty now, yet it marked the first crack in their united front. Fast forward to the Netflix docuseries, where Harry painted William as cold and calculating, while international footage showed William juggling state duties, 3 kids, and a newly crowned Princess of Wales. Public sympathy tilted toward William, but Harry's memoir Spare reopened every wound. Remember that alleged dog bowl shove? In Spare's pages, it was a symbol of years of frustration. But critics noted inconsistencies, like the timing of when staff supposedly intervened. The palace refused to comment, fueling even more speculation. Tonight's leak pushes that silent wall to breaking point. Fans loyal to William are rallying behind a single hashtag, #ProtectWills. They point out that he kept his replies measured, never cursing, and even offered to bring in a mediator. Meanwhile, Team Harry stans argue the messages show a frustrated younger brother finally blowing off steam after years of palace gaslighting. But the majority of neutral observers are stunned by one chilling detail. Harry allegedly threatened to release the full nanny report if William didn't meet certain demands. Remember the rumored 2010 investigation into staff treatment? Yeah, that file? Let's zoom out. This leak isn't a random burst of sibling drama. It fits a pattern stretching all the way back to 2018. That was the year palace insiders first whispered about Textgate, when Meghan's staff flagged Harry's late-night rants as a security risk. Then came Spare, the memoir where Harry painted William as a bully who pushed him into a dog bowl. The brothers' private dispute has basically become a public saga, fueling podcasts, books, and endless Twitter Space debates. Public opinion polls conducted this morning show William enjoying a 72% favorability score among Britons aged 18 to 34, compared to Harry's 29%. That's a steep fall for the once-beloved party prince. Crisis management guru Olivia Chen says, When private family spats become clickbait, the side that stays classy tends to win. She notes Harry's profanity-filled DMS undermine the polished, spiritual image he's tried to craft since moving to California. But if you think tonight's receipts are the grand finale, buckle up. Around the 12-minute mark, we're dropping an audio file allegedly recorded during a crisis call between Kensington Palace aides. In that clip, William's senior advisor says, "We'll grant 0 concessions. Harry's tantrum ends here." Sources confirm that line triggered Meghan to call her Hollywood lawyer, prepping a defamation playbook. Publicly, the Sussex camp has remained silent, but behind closed doors, legal engines are revving. Here's the tragedy: family ties are shredding in full view of millions. Royal historian Dr. Lydia Kemp tells us this is the most catastrophic breach of trust between Windsor heirs since the abdication of Edward VIII. Heavy words, yet fitting. Back in early childhood, William and Harry were the united front after Diana's death. Fast forward to 2025, and they're trading threats like rival CEOs guarding trade secrets. The emotional whiplash for royal fans is real. Cue the mid-video reveal. Late last night, a second batch of screenshots landed in my inbox. These show Meghan direct messaging a royal reporter back in May, subtly hinting she had backup files if certain tabloids didn't correct coverage about their Netflix deal. Connect the dots? If Meghan stored those files on a cloud drive, could that be the same source that delivered Harry's DMs? A digital forensic analyst we consulted says the metadata from both leaks points to the exact same California IP block registered to a Montecito media firm. Tech sleuths dove deeper, matching the font rendering in the screenshots to an early beta version of iOS 18, a build only available to developers. Guess who reportedly requested that beta last month? Meghan's new podcast producer. That breadcrumb connects yet another Sussex business venture to the leak pipeline. The couple's team, however, calls such claims baseless conjecture, insisting no one in their circle shared or authorized the release of any private communications. Now, consider the fallout. Brand experts estimate that if William's reputation continues to absorb social media shrapnel, future Commonwealth tours could cost British taxpayers an additional £4 million in security. Sponsors linked to Harry's environmental group Archewell Earth are quietly reviewing contracts, fearing blowback. And remember, Spotify already axed the Sussex podcast deal last year, citing no significant ROI. Add fresh scandal fatigue, and Harry's commercial cachet could nosedive. But for William, the narrative shift isn't entirely bleak. PR insiders reveal that Kensington Palace has lined up a goodwill blitz, surprise hospital visits, a charity soccer match, and, get this, a joint appearance with Taylor Swift at a children's cancer ward. Talk about headline redemption. By publicly focusing on vulnerable kids, William amplifies his protective dad image, widening the empathy gap between him and his firebrand brother. Still, don't underestimate Harry's counterpunch. The Duke's biographer, Marcia Day, hints Harry possesses voice memos from the Queen's private Christmas conversation in 2019. If released, they could redefine royal loyalty lines. Yet leaking a late monarch's private words risks nuclear-level backlash. Our crisis management source says, one wrong move and Harry shifts from whistleblower to royal pariah overnight. High stakes indeed. Meanwhile, British legislators are pushing a proposed digital dignity bill, which would criminalize the distribution of private messages without consent. If passed, and if authorities trace the leak back to Harry or Meghan, fines could reach £500,000 per incident. Imagine the legal snowball that sets rolling. Across the pond, American talk shows are feasting on the drama. Daytime host Madison Lake declared, "We've officially entered the era of royal reality TV. No cameras needed, just iCloud hacks." Her monologue racked up 5 million views before lunch. Even late-night comedian Trey Nolan joked, "These princes spill more tea than Starbucks during a buy-one-get-one sale." The world is laughing, but the monarchy isn't amused. Let's not forget the kids caught in this storm. Prince George, now 12, is old enough to scroll TikTok. Princess Lilibet, though just a toddler, will one day Google her parents' names. Child psychologists warn that public family feuds can leave scars that therapy alone can't erase. One specialist tells us bluntly, when parents weaponize secrets, children inherit the blast radius. Sobering words, yet amidst the chaos, some hope glimmers. Archbishop David Lowson, who officiated William and Catherine's 10th anniversary blessing, has offered to mediate a private reconciliation retreat. The effort remains unofficial, but royal watchers see it as the last off-ramp before permanent estrangement. Whether Harry accepts the olive branch or doubles down on public warfare is the question hanging over Windsor Castle tonight. All right, we're nearing the end. But there's one angle you must see. Financial analysts believe the Crown Estate could lose tourist revenue if overseas visitors start associating Windsor with never-ending drama rather than pageantry. Early projections peg potential losses at £120 million over 5 years, a number that might finally push senior courtiers to impose stricter sanctioning on any family member who jeopardizes the brand. Translation: Harry's passport to the balcony could be revoked indefinitely. Meanwhile, grassroots monarchist groups are organizing a Wall of Loyalty event outside Kensington Palace next week. Supporters will hold up handwritten letters to William, encouraging him to stand firm and stay classy. Organizers already ordered 10,000 yellow roses, the color symbolizing brotherly forgiveness, hoping the gesture nudges Harry to apologize. Whether the Duke sees the roses from sunny Montecito remains uncertain. And here's a detail almost everyone missed. Palace chefs were ordered to switch the upcoming state banquet menu from Sussex favorite California Cabernet to a classic Bordeaux. Why does that matter? Symbolism. Insiders swear the wine swap was William's subtle signal that the California chapter is officially closed. Even senior butlers, usually stoic, were overheard debating the move like sports commentators. One quipped, "We're uncorking tradition and corking controversy." That light jab went viral on staff group chats within minutes, proving even those behind gilded doors are choosing sides. Social media sentiment trackers reveal a 400% spike in negative hashtags tied to Harry within 12 hours of the leak, while positive mentions of William's Earthshot prize surged. In digital war terms, William is gaining air cover while Harry loses ground supplies. No wonder Archewell sponsors are sweating and quietly adding morality clauses to fresh contracts. Look, whether you're Team William or Team Harry, one truth is undeniable. Trust in the Windsor brand is cracking fast, and every new leak widens the fracture. The public's fascination, however, is booming. Engagement metrics show royal scandal hashtags now outrank top Marvel movie premieres. For creators like us, that means deeper dives into palace politics, but for the brothers, it's a relentless public autopsy. So where does this leave the heroes and villains of our story? William, the hero in the eyes of many monarchists, has maintained decorum, answered rudeness with restraint, and redirected attention to service. Harry, painted here as the villain, let rage guide his thumbs, jeopardizing family security and staking his legacy on explosive receipts. He aimed to destroy William's credibility, but the backlash is carving cracks in his own. Final word: villain aimed to destroy hero, but ultimately destroyed themselves.